This is right here's the little awkward part where like I'm live, but I'm having to refresh until it shows me I'm live, and then I send the link. There we go. Let me share. Very high-tech production value over here. SFA and chill. There we go. Alright, bet. Alright, so this is episode 2, week 2 of the SFA and Chill podcast. I have DogWater and Ron as the special guest because Nick's living it up in San Diego. We had a little interesting, we had 2 SFA weeks since our last podcast, so like a lot has gone down since last time. So we have a lot to talk about. But I mean, first off, we're gonna start out with the IRL top 25. Do either of you guys have anything that's like on your mind immediately?
Well, immediately I'd look at
drop further.
Yeah, I agree. Kentucky definitely should be further down.
Yeah.
I think Oregon's a little too high.
Oh, 100%.
I don't think Oregon should be at 12.
They should be unranked, in my opinion.
I don't. What I really don't understand is why NC State dropped all the way to 14 when they lost to a literal 5th ranked team. So.
Yeah. See,
I mean, they didn't look. The offense looked really bad though.
Yeah, but their defense was lights out.
I mean, against DJ.
Fair.
DJ
has looked much better this year, though.
That's fair. He looks good this year, but that's fair.
Yeah.
My problem is Georgia, man. That was the biggest blue ball I've had since Auburn last season against Alabama. That was horrific.
I personally would put them at 3, I think.
Yeah. Ohio State at 2?
Behind Ohio State. Ohio State at 2.
Ohio State at 2? I mean, I
get Ohio State's competition.
I think
Ohio State didn't play anybody, but they blew them out. That's the problem. Kentucky and Georgia's playing nobodies, and they're going down to the wire.
So hear me out here. USC top 4.
I disagree. No bias there at all either.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think
I'm not mad where USC's at.
No, I mean, I think they pretty much got it pretty much right. I mean, there's the Kentucky and the Oregons that I have the biggest.
Yeah, I like what they did.
But other than that, this is okay. I like how they did drop Georgia. Yeah, Pinhead. Yeah, it is Ron with us. But yeah, I mean, it's a good poll. I don't know. Wake Forest might be a little high. They let Florida State stay in that game.
Yeah, but
they still won though, and Florida State was a ranked team, so I don't mind where they're at. I mean, who are you going to move in front of them?
That is fucking true. BYU's a little too high to me, to be honest.
Yeah, they're going to lose to Notre Dame probably.
And also, I think James Madison should be ranked, honestly. Just somewhere in there.
Well, there's no point to. They're not eligible for a bowl this year.
Yeah, do they even do that if they're not eligible?
I mean, they're getting votes, so they got 39 votes.
Are they?
Yeah, so I would assume.
That's weird. I just don't understand why you would take a rank from a team that's actually bowl eligible.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but...
Pitt should be there. That's what Pinstripe says, and I disagree. Keaton Slovis.
I strongly disagree.
If that man's your starting quarterback, you're not winning more than 6 games.
Don't think you can lose to Georgia Tech and still be in the top 25.
Agreed. And is Cincy actually good this season? or
Um,
is this just more hype from last year? Because I feel like they lost all their good
they could
starters.
still be good. Their quarterback, I think it's Ben Bryant. He doesn't look terrible.
Well, they only have one loss. I mean, they're 4-1.
Yeah. I mean, they looked pretty good, but then again, they haven't really played anyone other than
They're not
Arkansas.
last year's team by any means, though.
No,
They're not even close.
Wait, and they have a loss and they got ranked?
Yeah,
They
they lost to
came in
Arkansas
ranked.
week 1.
Interesting. I like that. All right, so are we ready to get to your upset picks?
I'm ready.
So last week, DogWater went a whopping 0-2. Nick went 0-1, and I'm the only one who came out with a 1-0 record. I had Minnesota losing to Purdue, and it happened. So, who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
Give me LSU to beat Tennessee in Death
You
Valley.
motherfucker!
Oh no! Oh no! Hopefully,
Damn it! Now I gotta.
dude. Hopefully Nick's not listening. But I mean, I like the
Hopefully
pick.
not.
This looks like one of those games where like everybody's circling the calendar for Alabama, and then they just go down to
Yeah.
LSU and lose.
And Death Valley might be the toughest place to play in the country, so.
I like the pick. Tennessee is only a 3-point favorite, so it's not.
It is only a 3-point favorite, but
Yeah, it is not as big of a
not crazy.
pick as you
But
think.
I think Tennessee's on too much of a high right now, beating Florida, which Florida shouldn't have even been in that game.
I agree.
Yeah, I think Tennessee gets the benefit of being one of the overhyped teams. Kind of what's happening in the SFA is they're just a little bit too overhyped. They are undefeated, but until they beat either Georgia and Alabama, we can't really take them
Well,
seriously.
they beat Alabama.
I'm not talking to SFA. I'm talking to real life.
Oh. I mean, that's not happening in my opinion. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
It
But
could be.
Georgia looked bad.
Yeah, Georgia did not look good.
I'm hoping
And that was
it's one
against
of those-
Missouri, who
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it's one of those things where like teams see that game and they're able to attack them now, rather than Georgia's being like, oh shit, we had one bad game, let's sure it up, and no one's gonna touch us the rest of the year.
Now, to me, Georgia has looked like a team that has all this pressure of we're the national champions of last year, and we're supposed to be blowing these teams out of the water, and they're kind of crumbling under it.
I mean, yeah, they lost like everyone on defense, so I mean, expected they would at least drop off a little.
You say that, but it's
Missouri-
college football, man. You're Georgia. You won a national championship. There's no reason you're not bringing in 4 or 5-star recruits on that defense.
Yeah,
And Missouri lost to Kansas State by 28 a few weeks ago, so at home. So
Yeah.
it's not like they have this crazy.
I mean,
field
let's
advantage.
not get too carried away with the whole Missouri game. I mean, Missouri. I mean, they couldn't score touchdowns. I mean, they kicked all night long.
and that kicker was insane. Like he was making 50-yarders.
Dude, that guy.
There's
is
one chip
a
shot field goal.
Must be nice.
All right, Dogger, do you have a pick, or do you want me to pivot and go?
The LSU and Tennessee was my pick.
All right. Do you have another one?
No, that was my one and only for this week.
So you guys are both doubling down on the LSU Tennessee.
We're doubling
train.
down.
I mean, I'm hyping on the game day hype train. 9 a.m. again time slot. Kansas is a 6.5 point underdog to TCU. Give me the Jayhawks. I know they got lucky against Iowa State, but hear me out. TCU has played nobody except for Oklahoma last week, and Oklahoma is a mid-ass team, especially without Gabriel, who didn't play for like over half of that game. I think TCU and all we need to know about TCU is they were within like a score of Colorado at halftime in week 1. So that should tell you they are not worthy of being ranked. and Kansas is going to ride it and win this game. They're the team of destiny.
Yeah, but even dog shit teams have their days.
Yeah, but not this day. This is going to be Kansas. Going to be hyped. It's going to be a sellout. I know they also lost their running back to a dislocated hip. So
yeah, I can't really look at a team.
That Kansas offense is going to have to be much better than they were against Iowa State.
Well, also like with TCU, to me, it's one thing to go in there and beat a team like Oklahoma. I get they're mid right now, but it's another thing to go in there and blow them the fuck out like that.
Yeah. I mean, Oklahoma's defense just looked terrible.
And I mean
they were missing.
Supposed to be the defensive guy, right?
Yeah, that's like I thought their offense would be the thing that struggled, but
yeah. I mean,
is Gabriel officially out?
I
For the
don't
is
really
he playing?
know.
I didn't hear anything on him.
I know or how do you say his name? Ewers. I know he's playing. For
What's his last name?
I saw he was playing.
Ewers.
What's Gabriel's last name?
It's Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, Dylan.
Gabriel is the last name.
But dude, I just think Daniels is too good of a player to lose this game to TCU. I'm going to be watching it. I'm going to be hyped, and I'm going to be 2-0. Now, I had another pick just in case someone stole mine. I'm just going to throw it out there. But it's at 6 p.m., Pac-12 After Dark, 9 p.m. on the Easterner coast. I'm going to say Arizona beats Oregon.
Wow.
I'm going to go with 2 picks this week.
I don't hate it.
No, I don't see that at all. That's like the Eastern Washington pick, dude. Dude, fuck, Arizona barely beat South Dakota State. That's not even the good Dakota.
Okay. No, it was North Dakota State.
Wait,
was it North? I thought it was South.
They played San Diego State. That's a different SDSU.
Yeah, they played North Dakota State.
Yeah.
But, anyways, Arizona, they're 3-2 this year. They're not that bad. They blew out Colorado, and they have some decent players. They have the Washington State guy,
and Jacob Cowing is one of the best wide receivers in college football.
So all I'm saying is I think Bo Nix, he has 12 touchdowns and 3 interceptions at this point. There's no way he continues. He's gonna even out that ratio pretty quickly here. So, and they're wearing the eggshell jerseys. So I think it's going to be an L for them. Some Pac-12 After Dark.
Oh, also, Dylan Gabriel is unlikely for the Red River rivalry.
So Texas is going to win.
Texas is going to win. That's what we learned.
Yeah, they're not using the Dolphins concussion protocol with him.
Oof. Do you guys have anything?
Also, USC better not sleep on Washington State this week either. Put that out there.
I didn't want anyone to even talk about that one because everyone's
Washington
saying
State's
it's
not
bad.
I think USC will win, but
hey, that's the team I got Eastern Washington confused with.
I mean, I'm gonna say something. USC in real life this season is kind of like Memphis is in the SFA. It's basically, can your defense
in-play schedule, baby?
If the defense can force the turnovers, and because our offense is going to score a lot, it's just if we can get off the field. And I don't think our defense is that great.
Yeah.
Once we play, if we win the Pac-12, it's going to be one of those things where we lose by 70 in the playoff to whoever it is. So
I could definitely see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm already waiting for it. So, next up, we're going to talk about game day yesterday. A wild game. And check out my amazing graphic I created for this. But Memphis wins in overtime, 40-37. DogWater, how are you feeling the day after?
Dude, I don't even know. That was like I said earlier, the SFA is just a toxic X. fucking just ripped my heart out and stomped on it for 3 quarters, and then bought me flowers late in the fourth.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've ever seen that kind of like an offensive explosion from SMU at the end of the first half. They had 27 points
Yeah,
in the quarter,
24 points.
or 24. Like, it was
Fuck,
touchdown,
dude.
quick touchdown, interception, touchdown, touchdown. And so that
God, our defense
really,
looked so good on the first drive too.
yeah, I know. And then it just completely fell apart. And then it kind of stalled out
It
in around the fourth quarter.
What started SMU's momentum was that bullshit fucking that they called a completion where he fucking lands 70 yards out of bounds.
No,
But
it was a catch. It was a catch. 100% a catch.
no fucking shot in hell,
Because the
dude.
back foot touched, the tip of the toe touched before the front foot did. 100%.
I don't know.
And I'm actually very surprised that your quarterback, Hennigod, is in the Heisman conversation now.
I mean, he's got like 28 touchdowns to
30
one interception on the season.
1 interception. But normally, QBs, they need
is
the
ridiculous.
rushing. They need the rushing with it, and he doesn't have it. He has, I think, 4
Well,
rushing
he had
touchdowns.
80 yards. He had 80 yards all season long, and I think he put up almost that in the SMU game.
Yeah. And do you think you're gonna be higher in the ratings tonight?
Like 1 or 2, maybe a 1 spot. That's probably it.
I mean, I put you at 5. I think the 3 other undefeateds, and then I have Maryland over you. Except now thinking about it, though, Maryland got lucked out by Penn State's quarterback getting injured, so probably not the best pick.
Well, we still got to fucking just because of my schedule, we have to win out. There's no playoff shot if we lose any of these games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, if you lose one game, I mean, if you lose a game, it has to be in the regular season. If you lose in the CCG, it's over.
Yeah. Unless we're gonna put them in over Clemson again.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
we did for
that's
SMSU.
Ron's gonna
well,
throw
that's
that
the
in my
problem
face
though.
forever.
My biggest threat right now is going to be Tulane in the conference championship.
You keep just glossing over Dirty Bird. So
I am not worried about that DogWater ass fucking corner he has. That motherfucker's
Okay.
been mossed all season long.
Okay, chill. You are on a
I mean-
bye week this week, which is good. You have time to recover after that crazy game. But then you have Louisiana, who has Nyder Finley, who's an amazing running back and a great corner. I mean,
look what we just did to Ulysses.
I know, but he had a decent game. But it's an off-brand SMU that if you overlook them, I don't know, they could do something. Especially if that's not in BearCave.
They have a really good corner. I will say he's a really good corner, but we have 5 receivers that showed last night that they can just. Anybody can score on this offense. We had 2 backup tight ends score.
Yeah. But also, they don't have their starting quarterback, so he's still out. And
That's rough.
Dude, there's so many SFA injuries this week.
It is rough.
I just kept going from team to team, like, oof.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I almost put a hole in my wall though when my middle linebacker made that hit in overtime.
That was such
That
a
shit
great
was
play.
fucking nuts.
I mean, I see it, I'm like, oh shit, it's a catch. How do you catch that? And then the ball just pops out between his legs. That was fantastic. But also, the biggest news out of today from the SFA is Tennessee. I wanted to kind of insert it in here, talk about it, because Tennessee, they're going to be a top 10 team now, but Cardale is out, and now they have to. They have Ishire who has a 64 injury rating. So he may be going down to that 54 overall backup at some point.
The worst part about that, I don't think Lou's made it 3 straight weeks without an injury.
Yeah, no, he hasn't. He early on he like left the game early, but it wasn't like a weak injury. It was just for the game, and that's when he did the dump off pass on 4th down. But then the next week he pulls the hammy, and then he's out for like 5 weeks. And luckily enough, the first game back, he has to come in for Cardale. So he's been lucking out, definitely. But this is one of those situations where his season could get fucked, for lack of a better term.
I mean, I think he can afford another loss if it's somebody big.
I don't know, dude. That division is kind of crazy. I mean, South Carolina is completely selling. 2 straight losses, and Ron, how did
Both
you
of them
predict
predicted on Giant Killers.
How did you predict those games? I saw your predictions, and then I seen the games. I'm just like, what the fuck?
It's been much better than it. Giant Killers has been much better these last couple weeks than it has been.
Oh, for sure. So,
Well, I mean, when you pick Memphis to lose to Texas State,
that we don't have to talk about that one. We don't have to talk about that one.
all right,
Let's talk about my good picks.
So here's the crazy thing about the Tennessee division. You have South Carolina 6-2. They are 5-2 in conference. They're sitting at the top just because they have one more conference game played. Georgia is 6-2. They're 4-2 in conference. Tennessee 6-2, 4-2 in conference, and Auburn 6-2, 4-2 in conference, and then Florida's behind them. But 4 teams at this point, all with pretty much an equal chance to win that division. So I don't think Tennessee can afford another loss.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't know, dude. It's just there's like every team at the top, though. I think they played like 4.
So yeah, Tennessee they lost to Georgia. They beat South Carolina, and then they also beat Auburn. So they have the tiebreaker over 2 of them.
Yeah.
And Alabama. But is Alabama in their division or no?
No, that's the other division.
Yeah.
Or no, they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 4 wins right there.
God, that is such a stacked division. And then
there's just Kentucky at the bottom.
Yeah, Kentucky. Now, Kentucky used to be good. I've been going through all the old scores and stuff for one of my big projects I'm working on. And Season 1 and Season 2, they were insane. So, they made the playoff in Season 1. Only to lose to Florida. But, let's see. And now we have only 4 undefeateds left. And they all survived this week. Because I simmed the South Carolina and NC State games like pretty early. I'm like, oh shit, this is a week where everyone's losing. But luckily, all 4 came away with dubs, which I'm very happy about.
I'm not. Fuck Notre Dame.
Fuck Notre Dame, dude. Notre Dame, I feel like is probably gonna shit. They're gonna shit themselves towards the end.
I don't think so. I think they had those early struggles like early in the season, but since then they've played pretty well.
But bro, they're facing Syracuse, Tennessee, and Stanford their last 3 games, all ranked teams. Now,
dude, hear me out, dude. Syracuse is an absolute fluke.
Yeah, no, Syracuse is shit. That team is so bad. I don't know how they get overranked, but every time they do get ranked, they lose, and that's what happened on BearCave. Tennessee really depends who's starting, but that Stanford game, I think Stanford's for real, even with the defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. I think Notre Dame has a good shot at winning out.
I think they have the worst chance at winning
see
out.
I think they have a decent shot at winning out. I mean, I think what's going to fuck them though is being an independent.
Yeah, it's fucked them 2 years in a row.
I mean,
And
if they go 12-0, you physically can't leave them out.
yeah, no, yeah, but I will say, in retrospect, we were all debating about Clemson and SDSU last year, but Notre Dame turned out to be the best team
Yeah.
for the at large, and who's the only person who suggested them? It was me. So that kind of leads me into our next topic: is how do we feel about the committee? It's gonna be me and Ron, Pinstripe, Flame, and Nick. DogWater, how are you feeling?
I mean, it sucks, but at least I didn't get triple or quadruple whammy, just triple.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing
Now
about
you'll
it
probably be
though,
on it next season.
yeah, because we will be ineligible for next year. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited for a committee that isn't just screaming. um, yeah,
Everybody pass around the talking stick.
pretty much. Um, but I don't know. I think it so far it's kind of clear cut, but it never stays like that. We always at this point kind of have
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 teams that are undefeated, and we're like, oh, they're never gonna lose. It's basically over. Um, that's probably not gonna happen. We haven't had an
I mean,
undefeated team in the regular season since like season 5.
Really?
NCAA football is crazy with them. There's like
Yeah,
never any undefeated teams.
well, it was designed to be so upset
Yeah.
ridden. It's almost impossible, especially if you sim.
Yeah.
Well, so um, in the NCAA 14 era, there's been no undefeated teams to win it. We had UAB last year, but they lost in the semis.
Yeah.
And then season 6 we didn't. But season 5, our only undefeated champion is Boise State, and that was Kellen Moore. Yeah.
And now they're terrible.
Yeah, except they had a quality win. They beat Washington, so I still don't understand how that
Can't believe they
happened.
beat Washington.
It's yeah. Flame said it. Upsets are practically coded in, so
Yeah.
it's just something we have to deal with. But that's why you got to be good. So you get on BearCave and you get on game day because those aren't coded for. Those are more ratings based.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm actually super happy that SMU Memphis game wasn't simmed.
Oh yeah, for sure. Even BearCave because I mean, I don't know, dude. Some of the things we see in there is wild. Like, I click next play, and then bam, like a 95-yard rushing touchdown. Any more comments on the
way to bring
committee
up
this
the
year?
way to bring up the Kansas game there.
I don't know. People are shitting on your schedule. It's turning out not to be terrible, mainly because of Missouri. Missouri's now 5-3.
I've agreed with everybody since the beginning. It is a dog shit schedule.
Vanderbilt, Kansas, and Missouri. That's like the most. Like, sure, you're playing Power 5.
It's definitely not as bad as like SDSU's last year.
Oh no, yeah, theirs was terrible. They were playing like Arkansas State in
Mountain West
Charlotte.
was just awful.
But yet they still made the playoff.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
All right, so I have 2 of the Mickey Mouse people in here. Ron, his first season somehow won the championship with Hunter Deekers, and then obviously your DogWater's 8-0. I wanted to. I see a lot of it. Who's the best coach or whatever in the SFA? I think there's like I don't know 4 different ways you can kind of look at it, but I wanted to see how you guys kind of decide who you guys think's the best.
from what I seen, I think it's got to be Flame, honestly, with the sustained success. And Baylor was really bad when he took over as well, right?
Oh, Baylor was god awful. Like, so right now
Yeah.
in the SFA, I feel bad for B Dog because he's on such a terrible team, and it's like he's gotten 6 second places in recruiting for like 4 weeks
Oh, dude,
straight.
he's been getting shafted
Yeah,
on
like
recruits.
so like tiny differences have been keeping him from getting recruits. And that's how Flame was the first like 3 seasons with players on sim matchup. He was just getting annihilated in the Big 12 South because it had like Oklahoma, Houston with Case Keenum, Texas Tech when they were good, um, Oklahoma and Texas, all the big ass teams, and he was going like 1-11 consistently, and he stayed for some reason. He stayed, and then we moved over to NCAA 14 the year before RG3 was good. So he kind of got shafted there, but then it turned out to be good because he's made the playoff all 3 years on
Yeah.
so yeah,
That
Unfortunately,
is a
he won't be able to make it 4 because the
oof.
Cyclones will be beating him.
Dude, I don't know how Arkansas
Unfortunate.
isn't going to win that division. If you drop one more, you're screwed.
Well, because I have the tiebreaker, right? Because I beat them, so I have to drop 2 more.
Wait, you did beat them, right? Yeah. Fuck.
I beat them week 1, yeah.
No, I want an Arkansas that's good. Damn it. That's rough. Yeah, no, I mean, you control your own destiny. Baylor also
Yeah.
as well. All he has to do is beat Kansas State, and he kind of owns them. So this was the same situation as season 7.
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, he drops a few at the beginning of the year. But this season, I don't know. It's kind of different because he is now Teddy's injured. He just lost his best receiver. Like, I don't know. If he drops one more game, he's kind of screwed.
Yeah.
So, as far as defining SFA greatness, I think that's probably where I would go to is the college football playoff. But then again, he has 3 first round exits, so he can get there.
That is true.
But he cannot win. Now he should have won one of them, the one against Michigan for sure. But the game fucked him over. I don't know if you've ever seen it, DogWater, but he was down by 2 in the final seconds, and he, instead of just like running it and setting up the field goal, he threw it over the middle and threw a pick. So
Wow.
And it would have been the rematch of ISU Baylor.
And it would have been like a 20-yard field goal. So he completely choked that
Yeah, it was
one.
a short field goal.
Yeah. So I think that one he kind of owns the Big 12. Sorry, but he kind of does. But if you want to define it by like just straight win percentage without looking at anything else, then it's McNasty, who kind of owns everybody in win percentage. But then again, he has the best player of all time in the worst conference. So, and somehow he's 4-3 this year with the senior Garrett Grayson, who's really like 105 overall. And then and then you can also go by record. And Jay Jetta's, he's 50-25 now. He's dropped 2 in a row, and he also has 3 playoff appearances. He won 1 natty, but that one doesn't count. And then he lost to App State, and he lost to Hawaii in the first round back-to-back years. I actually took the picture of it because he was roasting about me today. He lost to App State 29-13, and he lost to Hawaii 31-17.
Jeez.
Wisconsin blew his back out yesterday.
Oh, they did. And then the year where he did win the championship, he almost lost to Ball State. He beat them by 4 in the playoffs. So, And then since he's been at Minnesota, he's been incredibly mid.
Yeah.
And then finally, what I'm gonna say is, if you want to go by postseason success only, without talking about Mickey Mouses or anything, you go to ECU. I'm 4-0 in bowl games. I don't want to talk about the one conference championship I've been in, but I also have a Cotton Bowl. So I think that's probably what I would define as the best team. DogWater, who do you think's the best since you've been here?
Since I've been here, yeah, that's tough.
Well, I guess not since you've been here, but I mean, like, just looking at the server.
Honestly, just like based off of everything I did look at, I kind of agreed with the Flame pick, just because of that guy's recruiting and just the 3 straight. What was it? You said 3 straight fucking playoff appearances. I get he's not finishing in the playoffs right now, but how many coaches have 3 straight playoff appearances?
Yeah.
Yeah, only him and Jay Jettas.
And by the sounds of it, I mean, he's 1 play away from winning a playoff game too, so he's just got to fix a few errors and then he's good to go.
Yeah, I think his biggest error was recruiting Teddy Bridgewater. So Flame gets the pick all around. All 3 of us pick Flame, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, so anybody in chat here, if you're there, Pinstripe or anyone, you can ask us anything, and we'll answer it, I guess. Let's see. I gotta decide on game day. Do you guys think I should do like Maryland and Ohio State, or like Georgia Tech, Pitt? Like
that is a good game.
I would like to see the Maryland game just because Ohio State I don't think we've seen yet this year, and I want to see if they're going to get their cheeks clapped.
That's 2 CPUs, right?
Yeah, 2 CPUs. I mean, there's a lot of SFA players on Maryland, but
and I'm assuming Mike has not gotten a game day yet.
No, he has not. But Maryland is not going to have Philip Dorsett or Mostert, who is his 2 SFA players at running back.
So then they're going to get blown the fuck out. I'd rather see Mike.
Yeah. We're our 3rd team. All right, Pinstripe, he's saying, who's your SFA Player of the Year early pick?
It's not Arch.
Definitely not Arch.
100% not Arch.
Normally it's super easy. You just pick, Garrett Grayson. But he's...
he hasn't played well this year.
No, he does not have the stats.
My pick is Kiko Strong. Like I know he had the 1 week where he struggled right there, but I mean it's the Big 12, so it's. But I just think the amount of times that he's put up over 300 yards a game and multiple touchdowns, whether it be through the air or on the ground, I mean he's just been fucking nuts.
No, I'm
going to second everything he said.
But also, he lost 3 games in a row.
Yeah, that is true. Well, my other pick was Himlick.
Dude,
because he scored literally every fucking game.
Yeah, this is his first week not scoring. He only had 2 catches. But I think Kiko, part of this award is kind of like current success. It's kind of like the real life MVP where it only goes to good teams.
Yeah, but I mean, ISU still has a chance to make playoffs.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He has to start winning more. But if he finishes like 6-6, but I think he's for sure the best quarterback in this class, which is kind of wild to me because I thought it was going to be Jared Lorenzen or Arch. So that's a big surprise.
Well, it's definitely not Arch. I'll tell you that.
I'm sorry, Penn. I love you, but Arch is fucking terrible.
He had 2 good weeks.
Yeah, but that's the worrisome part, though.
His normal self.
Yeah, but you got to realize, like, his back-to-back good weeks was one against a winless Western Michigan, who's probably almost dead last in the country, and the other
Yeah.
was another sorry MAC team. So it's like,
Yeah, that was Arch over Kiko. It is Arch, and you all know it. No, see, the bad part is committing
It's
to this
just
guy for
false
4
information.
years. He's like, you're gonna start all 4 years. I'm guaranteeing you bowl games, MAC championships. So
yeah, that's a promise I'm breaking ASAP.
I guaranteed that to Kiko as well.
yeah. Except yours might actually
Every single
happen.
game. Yeah.
Well, with Kiko, he's at least shown fucking results. I mean,
I'll just like start him for the first play and then I'll just take him out.
Yeah, hey, that's a good idea. That's annoying for me, but you know, you're gonna be the Mills of the SFA again. All right, my player of the year, it was Cardale Jones until he went down for my pick, just with the story and how he beat like 3 top 5 teams in a row. But with him injured, he's gonna lose a bunch of stats. My preseason pick was Marcus Lattimore, but he's kind of completely shit the bed as well.
I mean, he just put up 3 touchdowns
Yeah, he
last
had 3
game.
TDs this week.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything the first half of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, you could definitely put Ulysses in that conversation.
Bentley, yeah, but he's also not an SFA player. He's a real life person.
I thought he was an SFA player.
No. I know, dude. Some of these guys with these names are absolutely wild.
Like Demon Clowney, or whatever the fuck his name was. Like,
Yeah.
that dude fucking... That shocked me when I watched Ole Miss live, and I was like, that's a real fucking dude?
Pinstripe, how has Season 8 class fared so far? Is that last season's class? Yeah. I mean, the quarterback's doing well. There really hasn't been many others that are going crazy.
Yeah.
Darren Williams and Nider Finley are kind of popping off, but then again, they're 4-3 in the Conference USA, so not really too impactful. Yeah, most of them they kind of blossom in their sophomore and junior years. Freshmen don't really do much, so I might I might up the starting overall for some of the lower ranked guys. I think that will fix a lot of that.
Yeah.
Ron, how much budget do you have left? You have like 500K?
I have 500K left. And I thought I had 300K left.
And what are you targeting for the rest of the year? Are you going to go after Binks and have 3 running backs?
I'm waiting for something, but I don't want to reveal what it is.
Okay. Well, I have 200K
He's waiting for a
left,
kicker.
And my big...
I'm waiting to spend 300K on a kicker.
My big plan was to get North Carolina and just be done. But then Houston snaked me on that by like the closest margin possible. We offered the same amount. We basically had the same pitch. But it's just because Houston's a little warmer that I lost, which kind of...
Yeah, I definitely want to get my last pipeline.
Yeah, after you choked Iowa away.
After I choked Iowa, I need to get the last pipeline.
Hear me out on the
nobody
kicker
else
thing.
offered him. It's crazy to me that no one else offered him.
You know what's crazy is that none of these battlegrounds are being won. Houston had a wide open international pipe ground. He messed it up, and then no one offers pretty much for the California guy between Baylor and SDSU, and so that one just goes unclaimed. And now this week, Texas is open, but there's no way Neil or Jay Jettas is going to go after the guy probably. So, yeah, it feels bad, man. And then it's just going to be down to Florida.
I mean, hear me out on the kickers thing, though.
Oh, God.
I get. I spent a little too much. I got it. But everybody called me a madman when I did it. And now look at all these teams that had to go for it on fourth down from the 20. And then look at Tennessee beating Alabama. They don't have a kicker. They don't win that game.
No, I mean,
I'm still calling you a madman for what you did.
You're saying madman, but every week some team either loses or wins because they have a kicker.
But I still don't think it's worth $300K.
If he even wins me one game, it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean,
get better players so you're not in the position. You just score a touchdown.
And for the next 4 years, I'm set with a kicker.
Yeah, I think it's just the $300K mark. The fact that you went after the kicker, like, if you would have offered him like $150,000, I think that is probably the better price.
There's a little bit of bias there. It's Sebastian Janikowski. All right.
Yeah, that's true. Big name guy.
Florida State kicker.
Yeah.
I got a soft spot in my heart for Janikowski.
Hopefully, you keep the same faith when he misses a kick for you.
Dude, he's the next Roberto Aguayo in college. Not the NFL.
Not the NFL.
We're not talking about the NFL. We're talking about just his college days.
Well, Aguayo's been doing well for Arizona State, so kickers do work. And then Pat McAfee is on Penn State, and he's been going off. But then again,
and plus
no way to see it.
And then the $75K I spent on a punter, that was just because, I mean, like, I just literally, I knew nobody was going to offer on him. I mean, I basically talked shit to him in my pitch.
Yeah, but see, that's better. Only $75K, like, that's understandable.
Yeah, but other people put up almost $200,000.
Well, so the expected for those guys is a lot higher than it should be, only because that I like force the kickers and punters to be 4 stars, because otherwise there's really no point of getting them, because if I'm making a 75 overall kicker, he's not going to be able to kick anything, and it's not worth recruiting him. So having to have them a little bit higher overall so that I can get their kick power up to the high 80s is a lot more useful. But then again, it forces idiots like you to spend all their money. All right, so Thursday night football picks. Obviously, I am a little biased. I think Broncos are going to win by 100.
I mean, real averaging like 7 points a game.
I will say, though, I'm actually scared that Philip Lindsay is playing against us, because it's going to be a revenge game. He's probably going to pop off. He's healthy. He's a really good running back, and I'm pissed that we let him go, and now we have fucking Melvin Gordon who fumbles every week.
And then fucking Javonte gets hurt, so now you're really stuck with Melvin.
Yeah.
This is going to be a terrible game tonight.
It's going to be
dude, I'm not even going to...
I like a 13-10 final score, and I'll pick Denver.
Yeah, my pick was
that's my pick.
13. So, man,
I don't even know about that, dude.
Oh, boy. I just think Matt Ryan, there's no way he outduels Russell Wilson when it comes down to it.
Dude, Russ ain't cooking, bro. He's been terrible this year.
But 2 weeks in a row, he's put together a drive and gotten us back in the game, or won us the game. So, like,
I think what's going to help y'all is the fact that Indianapolis cannot get JT going for whatever reason. They just have not been able to get him going.
He's not playing tonight anyway, so.
Yeah, he's out. High ankle sprain.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I forgot about that.
Traded Nick for Cooper Kupp. Absolute fleece.
All right, we have another question here. Flame wants to know our conference championship game picks. So we'll just do Power 5. All right, so who do you guys have winning the SEC?
Tennessee.
Let me take a look here.
I'm gonna stay with my preseason pick. I'm gonna say Georgia. I think they get it done. I loved watching Vandegrift. He was crazy good. So I think they get it done.
I like that pick.
I got to ride with the Tennessee.
I just think the
I'm
quarterbacks are
gonna
going to fuck
second the
them.
Georgia pick. I'm gonna second the Georgia pick.
All right, so now we head over to the ACC, where you have NC State, who look like the favorite and just completely chonded.
Georgia Tech, baby.
I like the Georgia
Mm.
Tech pick, but they scared me against Duke.
I'm gonna go Boston College to win the ACC. Gotta win the Atlantic first, but
if Clemson...
See, but that's the problem. The Atlantic's the hardest one.
Yeah, dude. So my pick is if Clemson does not win the Atlantic, then I'm going to pick the winner of the Coastals, who I think is going to be probably Miami. But if Clemson does somehow win their division, then they're going to win it. I don't think I've ever seen them lose an ACC championship.
I think Georgia Tech's got it. I mean, they have the advantage of being in the Coastal, so... And they've already beat Clemson. So it's doable.
It is doable. They're tied with Miami right now in the division, so... all right, over to the Pac-12 now. You have Washington, California, Stanford.
I think the championship is definitely going to be Washington, Stanford, and having gotten blown out by both of those teams. I'm an expert, and I'm going to pick Stanford.
I'm gonna take a different route. I'm gonna say Arizona State figures it out and they win the Pac-12. Because something like that always happens with the Pac-12 in this game.
Yeah.
Like a lower-ranked team always somehow gets in there and wins it. So Arizona State, Coach Rick, I think he's taking it.
Crazy. I'm going to double down on the Stanford one. I after seeing Arizona State's offense, there's a lot left to be desired.
Dude, that defense, though, is so ass. But you got Fork, who has 5 picks. I'm pumped about that. All right, Big Ten here. Big Ten, I mean, if you don't pick Ohio State, you're kind of stupid.
Yeah, I'm going to be boring and pick Ohio State, but...
Yeah. But Illinois, they're 5-2, undefeated in conference play.
Yeah.
They might win that division and then lose by 1 million. So this week's game versus Maryland and Ohio State is pretty much for the conference.
Yeah.
Unless Penn State wins out, like they need a lot of help.
Out.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Michigan kind of completely choked. And then finally, the Big 12. We know who your pick is.
Yeah, no bias. I'm going Iowa State. 0 bias involved.
I mean, I'm still going to say Baylor just because I trust Baylor to beat Kansas State more than I trust Kansas State to beat Baylor. So I don't think the North gets it done this year. Unless it's Arkansas, which I don't think it will be now because you somehow snaked your way into owning the tiebreakers. So yeah, I think Baylor.
I think ISU's going to win it.
Iowa State.
Love the pick. Love the pick.
I love Iowa State.
Well, my whole logic on this is though, I think at some point Baylor's going to slip up again, especially with like they did against SMU. And I don't know. I was looking at schedules earlier, and I think Iowa State just has the best chance to go in there and win the North. And I don't have any doubt that Kiko can win them the championship game.
Love the pick.
But on the other hand, Kiko could also fuck you. So it's true. We've seen both sides of the coin with him.
But Kiko's look good on game day, so.
Has he thrown away a game yet with like picks and stuff? I don't think so.
I literally think he has like 1 or 2 picks.
Yeah, it's not like Arch who had 5.
No, it wasn't. It was less of like turnovers, just more of stupid fucking decision making.
Well, and then in one of your games you lost, the run defense was so terrible. So
yeah, that was Washington, right? God.
Yeah. So, but Baylor, Marcus Lattimore, best running back in the country. I don't know that matchup. What's your record against Flame?
I believe he's undefeated in the conference.
No, I mean against you personally. Iowa
Oh,
State, Baylor.
1-1.
Oh, 1-1.
His one asterisk because Brees Hall didn't step out of bounds, but
I
whatever.
agree. I agree.
We don't have
I
to
was
talk about it, I
okay.
guess.
How is Iowa State going to get screwed this season on because you got screwed against Arizona State last year too. All right. Anybody else have anything for us? Yay, nay. This will be available on YouTube like in 30 minutes when my shit upload speed gets it up there. But yeah, Broncos by 1,000,000. DogWater, you have anything to say? I guess not. Anybody have any final words?
Let's go Cyclones.
Okay, go Cyclones. DogWater, anything? All right, well, thanks for watching episode 2. If you want to be on it next week, let me know. If you want to suggest segments or anything like that, let me know. But yeah, thanks for watching. All right.